Okay, anyone from the council? Questions? Yes, Linda.
When you put the sewer in, sometimes the town asks you to increase the size, and some of that sales tax goes back to the developer. My understanding is a substantial amount of your construction cost for that sewer goes back to you.
And let me address that. Thank you for bringing it up, and that was the one item I failed to write down and actually discuss. One of the stipulations that I would actually like to see the council include, based upon previous conversations with staff, is the instruction that we proceed with the closed sewer system, which is the lift station. We have already expressed our willingness to help offset costs related to the operation of that. As a reminder, when we do the hookup, and that's not included in the financial impact, we're going to have to write a check to buy into the town's system. Also, we're going to have to write a monthly check to pay for our equivalent dwelling units. We are not asking for any town reimbursement on a closed system, because that system is purely for the benefit of that project only. We are not asking for a sales tax or similar type reimbursement agreement on the sewer system.
Yeah, I believe Mr. Gripman might. I was told today that Mr. Gripman would ask that that sizing be large enough in case at a later date the town needed to use it.
Yep, I wish I could draw what we are discussing. We have retained a very specific engineering firm already to design the closed system, which would be the enclosed system would also have a dry pipe installed based upon our previous conversations and understandings. However, that pipe would not be operable. And again, we're not asking for any reimbursement for that expenditure. Now, when the project was originally proposed and based upon the town's master sewer plan, Granite Creek Lane was the location that was identified to run that sewer line. However, due to related issues, which everyone in this room is very well familiar with, and also easement issues, we approached the town and said, is there another way that we can look at doing the sewer? Because the town has a question that has already been raised tonight about who has to tie into the sewer system. And so we have proposed something that will not require anyone to tie in. It will be paid for solely at our expense. It will be solely for our benefit, and we'll pay to offset the operational costs. So again, one of the major issues that came up from the neighbors and from adjacent properties had to do with the sewer, and we looked for an alternate route in which to do it. And recently, like I said, during a meeting that was held with staff, and we also did provide written notice back to the people on Granite Creek Lane that our intention is to move forward on a closed system that nobody can tie into.
The ADEQ still has to approve that system, is that not correct?
ADEQ would have to approve any system that goes in, but as an example, what we're talking about is a lift station, which the town already operates a lift station. All of the sewage in town goes to a lift station that then pumps it to the sewer treatment facility. The city of Prescott, and Mr. Gripman, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they have 32 or 34 lift stations. Yeah, so it's not reinventing the wheel. It is something that exists out there that is available, and it's an alternate that we have because, again, the town has a fundamental question that's separate of this issue that needs to be answered, and therefore we said, while the town goes through that process, we need to be able to move forward. And we came up with that proposition, which was welcomed, I believe, by the people involved in the meeting.
Did I hear you correctly that you will also pay to offset the operational cost of that system? Because my understanding today was that would cost the town, because of the process, it takes 3 to 4 times what the normal sewer would cost to operate?
Well, specifically in the electrical operation of the lift pump is where the additional cost comes. Otherwise, I mean, it's a 3-inch pipe that goes up and goes into a manhole. Beyond that, we would still be paying the equivalent dwelling unit fee or a base fee that would be going to cover the cost of operations at the sewer treatment facility, but that alternate cost related to running the lift station, as we've stated in the first meeting we had about it, we'd be willing to work with the town to ensure that that works out for everybody, that it's a wash. If we have to include in our financing that we're requesting those additional dollars, then we do that. And it's definitely something that we're more than willing to do.
So you're committing to pay for that additional cost of running that system. It won't be a burden on the town in addition to your EDUs.
What I'm saying is that related cost, as long as it's fairly balanced between our EDUs and the actual cost to operate it, I don't see why we have an objection to it. But again, when we're talking about this closed system, it's something that has to be designed still. It's something that has to be reviewed and approved by the engineering department. And so there's going to be discussions revolving around it. But what I'm telling you right now is, yes, if we need to help offset the cost, we'll offset the cost.
You understand my concerns. Your town would be picking up the remainder of the cost of operating that system if you don't fully pay for it.
Correct. If you take the equivalent dwelling units and the actual fee that's paid, as we all know, there's a portion that goes to operating the plant, and the remainder of the portion goes to the town. And so obviously we'd be open to discussions with the town as to seeing what additional offset may be necessary to accommodate the
Now,
lift
you're
station.
saying discussions, but that's not a commitment.
Well, and unfortunately, I don't think that this is the venue to commit to something that we have an unknown about. What I'm saying is that
We can't vote
Well-
to go forward like you're asking us to until we get all the information.
We'll work that out. Any other questions from the council?
I'm anxious to hear the public before I
Okay. Okay.
And again, I'll be happy to come back and answer any questions at the end.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Hatch, I can only reiterate that our willingness to work with the town to make sure that it's zero net for everybody.
You know, Charlie, I've known you a long time, and I spent a lot of time with you on this project, and I certainly appreciate, what you do and how you do things. I certainly appreciate your rainwater recovery, and I'm sure you understand my concerns.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.